What sorts of leadership qualities inspire and earn respect among younger people? Humanity, humility, and one who accounts for actions. This, according to 28-year-old Nancy Chandra, is how she defines leadership. Our continuing series in Season 4 on Leaders of Tomorrow features our host Melanie Taddeo connecting with the aspirational and the inspirational. In this episode, a younger woman from Mississauga, Ontario, who shares her lessons learned and how she hopes to use these lessons as she transitions into a leader herself. If you like this episode, consider rating the podcast in your player app, and be sure to subscribe to the program to receive notifications of new content.
Good day and welcome to Connect for Life, the podcast. I'm your host, Melanie Taddeo, and today I'm joined by Nancy. And Nancy is a student doing her internship with us at Connect for Life this summer. And I wanted to talk to her about leaders for tomorrow because I think this is something that young people should be talking more about it with us. So Nancy, welcome. How are you?
I'm good, Melanie. Thank you so much for having me. How are you?
I'm great. Let's start off and get you to tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
Okay, well, I am a Sheridan at I'm I'm a student here at Sheridan College. I am in the Bachelor's of Social and Community Development. We just started our internship not too long ago. Um, I am 28 years old and I'm just navigating life.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And we're so excited to have you here. So, as someone who's 28 and just completing a bachelor's, life is getting exciting. There's lots of opportunities coming your way. So, leadership is going to sneak into it a little bit. So, let's start off by talking about what is your definition of leadership?
I think to me, leadership means setting positive examples through my actions and taking accountability and just continuing to grow through my mistakes. I don't think leadership means being perfect or always having the right answers. I think it's about trying my best to become the best version of myself, not only for myself, but those around me in my personal life as well and my work life. I believe that leadership is about supporting and encouraging others while still learning and growing yourself.
Beautiful. I love that. And that's so true because perfection is overrated anyway. Now, when you look back at your life, whether it's, at school or work or life in general, who have been your leaders and the leaders that have inspired you?
I don't think I have one person that inspires me. I think I've learned a lot throughout the people in my life, whether that's students or family members or mentors, supervisors. Um, there's been a lot of people in my life. I admire people who lead with kindness and empathy and patience. Um, I am inspired by people who support others and stay true to themselves and continue to grow even when things are challenging.
Now, in your life, what opportunities have you had to be a leader?
I think one example of leadership in my life has been through work and some of the community experiences I've had. I've had the opportunity to create workshops and support youth and newcomers and work with organizations that focus on inclusion and community support. And I think during these experiences, I learned that leadership isn't about leading a large group or people. Sometimes leadership is just listening and helping someone feel supported and taking initiative and working together towards a shared goal.
Thanks for that. And I like that look at it because, again, a lot of people think of leadership as somebody that's leading a big organization or taking on a very big task. But, leadership also is in small actions, listening, and, helping people feel supported. So, very well said, Nancy.
100%. I agree.
Yeah. Now, also in our lives, at school, sometimes when we're working as a team or in group settings, automatically somebody kind of pops up as the leader of the group. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I do notice that.
What skills do those individuals usually possess that seems to make them feel like they could take on the leading role?
I think think good leaders have strong communication skills. I think right off the bat, they know what they need. I think leaders also have a sense of empathy and understanding towards the people that they're working with or they're supporting. I also think accountability is a big one. I think that if you do make a mistake, it could be something small like working in a group project, and the person who's in charge, I think taking accountability is such a big one. And adaptability, that's a really big one. I think being able to adapt with all of the people that you're working with, I think these are some of great qualities that I see in somebody who's trying to take lead.
Yes, absolutely. So I know that sometimes the leader role, especially in a group setting, isn't always easy. There's sometimes you have to, combat, personality differences or thought processes, perhaps people not agreeing on certain things. What is it that you find that you've observed, especially in student leaders, that will help ensure a successful project or a task in class, let's say, as a leader? What skills did those show? I know you talked about communication, but is there something else that comes to mind when it comes to kind of managing conflict or situations that perhaps aren't going as smoothly as you would like them to?
Yeah, I think understanding is such a big one. I think everybody is going through something so different in their lives, and you don't always know what somebody's going through. So I think being patient and understanding is a really big one, and having open communication. I think if somebody is going through something, it's really important for you to kind of let the group know. That way we know what to expect. I think this is a good way of problem solving.
Absolutely. Thank you. Now, young leaders of tomorrow is the focus of this season. And I'd love to pick your brain. As a young person, we know that there's a lot of external factors influencing our lives, whether it's social media, anything in the news, happening at school. But what is it that you think that the youth, and I'm going to refer to you as a youth because you're youth compared to me, or the young people of today are looking for in leaders for tomorrow?
I think a good leader is someone who is empathetic, honest, adaptable, a good listener. I think that humanity is really important in a leader because nobody knows everything. And I believe that good leaders are willing to learn from others too.
Absolutely. Now, obviously, leadership comes with practice and taking action and taking on opportunities that present themselves. What is it that you would suggest to young people that they do to get that experience of leadership?
I think step out of your comfort zone. I think sometimes it can be nerve-wracking or challenging to put yourself forward or maybe even voice your ideas, but I think it's so important for growth if you try your best to step out of your comfort zone, give ideas, suggestions, be open to feedback. Yeah, overall, just put yourself in an uncomfortable situation, and you'd be surprised like how far you'll get or how much you'll learn.
Definitely. I think that's so important and really good advice because I find when people stay in their comfort zones, they don't necessarily grow, but they also don't see the opportunities that may push them to be a leader, even if they didn't set out to be a leader.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know what opportunities are available until you go get them. You can miss so much without vocalizing yourself.
Now, can you share a time where you've led a project or an initiative where you had to be adaptable? You talked about that earlier, that you had to kind of pivot in some situations to make sure things went smoothly.
Might have to give me a minute here. Ah, Melanie, that one's hard. I feel like there's so many situations that I can think about. I feel like I'm naturally somebody who likes to take charge, whether that's in group settings or whether it's at work. I like to keep myself very like organized. But I think the biggest thing that I've learned about taking initiative is communication. I think when you're working with group members or coworkers, I think the biggest thing I've learned is how to talk to people. I think the way that you approach people is really, really important because you never want to come off too strong because then some people may dim their voices. You never know like how much anxiety one person may have. So I think the way that I deal with leadership is approach. I think being kind and empathetic is a good way to get other people to open up and trust you. And also, it allows other people to vocalize themselves and say what they need to without feeling intimidated.
Definitely. So adapting your communication style to meet the needs of the individuals you're leading.
Yeah, like I don't think I could pinpoint one specific situation. I just feel like leadership is a day-to-day thing, whether you're at home or you're at work.
Mhm,
I think there's so many opportunities that you can use and call leadership.
mhm. Definitely. Okay. So going into the field that you're going into, what sort of leadership opportunities are you excited about trying out for the future?
I think I'm excited about working with community members. There's so many different personalities out there. Um, there's just so many different people out there. I'm excited to meet new people. I'm excited to see how I'm able to adapt with different personalities. Um, and also, I'm just here to help them and guide them in what they need, whether that's answering simple questions or maybe offering resources or um, whatever they need. I'm here for it. I'm very open-minded and I'm excited to help community members get to where they need to be.
That's exciting. And I'm sure they're going to be very thankful that they have somebody like you in the field. Question that you just actually tweaked my mind is one thing that a lot of people don't realize we need in life are, especially on the journey for leadership, are mentors. Having that person to go to help guide them through new learnings, new understandings, and definitely somebody that can kind of coach them along just till they get their legs under them or they understand the process. Have you ever had a mentor in your life? And if so, who were they and how did they impact you?
I think my mentors have been my teachers, to be honest.
Mm.
I think my professors have taught me a lot about inclusion um, and just overall, just being kind. I think a mentor doesn't always have to be someone with like an official title. I think it can also be a lot of different people. Although my teachers have taught me a lot, I think even like my supervisors and family members and some coworkers have also inspired me through their actions. Um, I've learned that mentors can provide good advice, support, offer different perspectives. But I think mentors come in different versions. There could be one at home, there could be one at work, there could be one at school. But overall, they've taught me a lot about understanding different perspectives.
Yeah, and I love that because you're right, mentors, they're everywhere in our lives and we don't even realize there's not necessarily a label. They just actually mentor us and they give that guidance and we learn from them. So parents, teachers, community members, people at work for sure. You nailed them all. Now, we talked a little bit earlier about the impact social media has on young people currently. And now let's even say it's going to be leading to AI as well. How much do you feel that your generation is impacted by social media? And how is this a pro or a con for leadership?
I think AI is a great tool when used correctly. I don't think that individuals should be relying on it, to get through day-to-day life. I don't think it should be, used to complete like work or assignments. I think it's a great tool for ideas and just brainstorming. But overall, I do think it has a big impact on social media, like both positive and in a challenging way. On the positive side, AI can improve accessibility by creating captions and screen readers and translations and help make content more available to people. But it also helps people learn new things and connect with the community faster. But at the same time, I think the challenges are the AI can make things easier for misinformation or unrealistic content. And sometimes maybe you've seen it yourself online. There's so much that AI has created online and it spreads so quickly. And sometimes you don't know what's real and what's not.
It's
But
so true. That's no, definitely, you're right. And again, it's like, how do we know? But, hopefully we're using our common sense. We're like, wait a minute, seems a little too good to be true, and doing a little deeper dive to see is this actually true or not. But I think you're right. As the time has evolved, like I have seen myself watching young people on social media start really great initiatives and really reaching out to different networks of people they wouldn't otherwise be able to reach to help for like a social justice or something that perhaps is trying to get people on board for a cause they're very passionate about. And that's an amazing thing. They're creative, they're innovative, and that's a great sense of leadership alone. But then on the other side, I've also, like you mentioned, seen young people fall prey to the misinformation and take it in the wrong direction. Can you think of anything that you've seen like that as well?
yeah, I think sometimes people compare themselves to like edited images or AI
Mhm.
generated content, which can affect a person's mental health and self-esteem. So AI can also influence what you see online because the algorithm often decides what content appears on your feed. And I think it's important that learning how to use AI responsibly is a big thing. I see AI as a tool that should be used to support people and creations rather than replace authenticity and human connection and critical thinking.
Excellent. Well, very well said. And again, I love this topic, especially with young people, because you guys are the future and this is what's going to be leading us forward. So I thank you for that answer. My final question to you, Nancy, what comes next for you in your leadership journey?
Hmm. I think I still have so much to learn, Melanie. I think my goal in leadership is to continue to learn from my mistakes, continue to take accountability, and overall just try my best to become the best version of myself for myself, for my family, for my friends. I feel like the biggest thing that you can do when it comes to leadership is learn from your mistakes and just do better.
I agree. And I hope and I know that if we have leaders like you for the future, our future will be in good hands. To our audience and our listeners, I encourage you to kind of dive deep into what your leadership journey looks like. As Nancy has shared with us today, there's so many opportunities for learning and growth as young leaders. And I know that the leaders of tomorrow are going to really inspire us and do new things that perhaps we as leaders today haven't even considered. Nancy, thank you so much for your time today. Until next time.
Thank you so much, Melanie.
You have been listening to Connect for Life, the podcast. Connect for Life is a Canadian-based registered charity committed to eliminating barriers for people with disabilities. Visit connectforlife.ca and join us in helping people with disabilities become the champions of their growth stories.